chance to read over the whole case. But if you have, what do you think are the most important parts for like each side? Like what do you anticipate the trial sort of turning on?
As I mentioned in our last meeting that I attended anyway, that the charge of the court lists 4 elements that must be established, and that traditionally in Texas law it's 5, but they've kind of combined them, and that is to make a will, you have to have testamentary capacity, and testamentary capacity requires you to have sufficient knowledge of your assets, of your the natural objects of your bounty, able to hold and understand that you're making a will, and able to hold that in your mind at the same time. So the central issue that a jury would answer or this case before a jury is, were those elements proven? So you start with that. The second key is, what is the interpretation of the handwritten note, assuming it was a will? Is it ACE, the negligent entity that killed him, which sounds to be I think you can make a pretty decent argument that that would be an unnatural gift, or is it his the fellow who was that he had a fight with and that's why he forgave him, or was he crazy at the time? Those are the 2 key things that you need to do. In your opening statement, though, you don't just deal with the dry legal, what the jury does. You need to humanize and be logical where it makes sense, that your side of the story comes across as being the more likely one, whether it's what's his name, Alex, whether it's Alex or the submarine company. You need to present in a logical order why the answer to the questions that the jury will be asked go your way, but why it also makes sense, and why it's, I mean, not just that you have some evidence to support it, but it all fits together. The example I used last time was the picture on the top of a puzzle box to show where all the pieces go. But a jury is going to want to know that the pieces fit logically, that you're not just cutting and trimming them to fit, that they really make up the picture, which is the story you want to tell. I don't know if that's more than you needed, but that's my philosophy of opening statement.
No, thank you. That's very helpful.
If you ask a question, guys, I want you to make your be visible. Okay. I realize it's in the morning, but any other questions at all? Okay. I would like to move on to some background on direct questions. Before I do, though, is there anything, Mr. Zeiger, you would like to say to the team while we're here?
A housekeeping matter. I want to remind them they have my cell phone, and because of that, it won't be intercepted by an admin or anybody else. And if I'm in a meeting or if I'm tied up, just leave a voicemail so I know it's you and I can respond. Don't feel like I'm blowing you off because I don't answer my phone, because again, it rings direct. And if I'm doing something else, I'm not going to be rude to them in order to answer your call. I'm not being rude to you. I will get back to you.
Okay. So do you guys remember basically the main difference between a direct question and a cross-exam question? What you're doing?
Yes.
Go ahead. Is that Katie? Or
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Katie.
For direct, they're like open-ended questions because it's your person, so you know how they're going to answer. And then for cross, it's very direct, like so they can't slip up the answer. Like you get the answer you want out of them.
And what kind of answers are you getting when you cross? What types of answers? They're simple.
Yeah. I mean, they're not lengthy. They're pretty short.
They're yes or no, right? That's what you're going after. Yes or no type answers. Is that correct? Yes, say yes or no. Okay, thanks. Okay, so and
Say anything?
Pardon? Go ahead.
Sorry, that was not me.
Okay, that's fine. yes or no questions. You don't, if you are a witness, if you're a witness and you're being cross-examined by another team, your goal is to not give immediate yes or no answers, to make it a little more difficult for them to get those, right? And if you're a witness for your team and they're asking you direct questions, you want to be as helpful as possible and follow their lead as much as possible and give as much detail as they need you to give. Okay, so that's when we start thinking about direct questions, you're going to be thinking, what do I want to know from my witness? What do I want this witness to tell me about this case so we can win this trial? And so that's what, and open-ended questions allows them the opportunity to amplify and help you build your case. So the attorney and the witness are going to have to work together after we get these opening statements done. Are you all with me on that?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Zeiger, is there anything about direct questions and cross-examine questions that you would like to share?
Well, what you said is exactly right. On the direct, you will work with your witness ahead of time so that you have prepared not just the questions, what did you do that morning? Or what did you observe at that event? Or what happened next? And they'll know how to answer that. A cross-examination question differs because you are able to lead the witness. Leading the witness is when you suggest the answer in your question. On the morning of June the 7th, you went to the store, correct? See, that's a leading question. I've told them the answer and they just say yes or no. A direct question would be, on the morning of the 11th, what, if anything, did you do before you went to the office? Well, I went to the store. Why? Well, I was doing this and this and this. You see how that lets the narrative come out in a natural manner by your witness. Across, you don't want a natural matter. You want to tell them what to say and they answer yes, or perhaps answer no. But your witness, though, when you're being crossed, just like Dean Mooden said, look for opportunities when you're the witness and the other side is crossing you to say, I need to explain that. Or, well, the way you asked that question is confusing. Let me tell you what really happened. And that way you sound believable while still getting them off their script.
The key is to get them off their script and to make them use more time than they want to use, because we have limited time limits on this. And this is where, you guys, the drama is going to come in. The drama practice and the acting is going to come in. So be aware that if you have a little bit of that, it could come in real handy at this point. Being a character witness, being that person, becoming that person, and playing with the opposing attorney. Okay, so it's going to be, that's part of the fun of it. Any other questions? Okay, can you tell me what I've asked you to do today? Someone tell me.
To find out the direct and cross.
Well, we're going to start. I need an opening statement first. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So today you're going to have a Google Doc set up with your opening statement on it, and then invite the team members and Mr. Zeiger and I. Okay, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You have our email and our phone number because it's on that thread that I sent both to your email and to your phone. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have a question, Nathan?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think it might help. I'm not sure about plaintiff, but for defense, I think it might help if we all before we started like heavily working on the opening statement, if we all just looked at the people we're directing and sort of got an idea of the key points of the stuff we think is critical in each testimony, so that we can like have the narrative in the opening statement. I think that might be helpful as first thing.
Would you guys like to talk and have me put you in a room, or would you like to just make connections independently to do that?
I mean, either
our team has already kind of done that.
Okay,
so
I have never put anybody in a room, but I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. Okay, so let me do that in just a second. You guys have already done that, ladies?
Mhm.
Okay, so do you have your Google Doc put together?
Yeah.
And you've you've allowed us to be on it?
Yeah.
Okay, then you are done for today. Okay? Now your job is to start thinking about the witness you're going to be directing so you can find the questions you want them to tell you to make your case. Does that make sense? So you
Yeah.
can do that on your own time. Okay? I'm going to let you three go. Unless you have a question.
you, Mr.
If you have a
Moon.
question, you can ask
Thank
it now.
you.
You can ask, you don't have a question? Okay,
Mhm.
ladies, you're off. You're off. We will look at your opening statement and give you some thoughts. Okay? Okay, great. With regard to the other team, I know you're a lady too, Kayla, so but they're all ladies, so I can just say ladies. The other team, you guys can stay right here and talk if you want to and work through that right now. And while we're all here, we're happy to do that. Okay. Although in about 15 minutes, I'll have to restart the Zoom because I have the cheap version. Okay. So it only gives me 40 minutes. So why don't you guys just go for it and we'll make the best of the rest of the time we have.
Okay. So how much have y'all like gone through the direct stuff? Like read through the testimony of the person you're directing.
You got to unmute yourselves.
Gone through the. Well, so I don't know who I'm directing and crossing.
Yeah, me neither. We didn't really
Oh,
talk too much.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
let's figure that out now then, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. For some reason, I thought that. Okay. My bad.
No problem.
Then yeah.
So,
So, do y'all have a
preference.
like a preference? Yeah.
Just so you know, he's directing the doctor and crossing Jackie.
What I had in my okay.
Go ahead.
I could have sworn we talked about this at the last. Am I going crazy?
Well, we
Possibly.
talked about our cross, I think, because we went through and said what characters we would be.
Right.
Right. And then
And I'm Chris LeClaire,
Right.
so I could cross Chris since I'd already know.
right.
about
Yeah.
him.
That's definitely the direction we're going.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're 100% crossing the person you are.
Yeah,
right.
and then Kayla, who was your?
Kayla, I've got it. Do you remember, Kayla?
The person I'm playing is Terry Claw.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna cross them. And cross,
Okay.
when we say cross, Kayla, that means you're gonna ask close-ended questions where they can answer yes or no. That's your goal, which builds your case. Okay? So then Sterling, who would you like to direct?
I'm good with any of them.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Nathan? Who would be better for Sterling to direct? And
Okay, part of it I think might be who's playing who, which for some reason I am
okay,
blanking on.
okay.
Who is playing
I'll tell you, I've got it. So which one?
what's that? Give me a sec. Who is Eubanks?
Okay.
Who's playing? Yeah, who's playing Eubanks?
I've got it here. Let me just
that's-
find it. It's
Katie, right?
Leckler, Cloth, Lone, Eubanks. I think Olivia.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think.
And then Silver's playing Northshire. And Katie's
Yeah, I mean,
playing
I think that could work either way
yeah.
because they're both experienced. So, yeah, like whichever y'all want to.
Have you guys
examine.
thought about someone you would like to direct of the two witnesses left? Because Go, Sterling, is there one you've thought of that you would like to direct?
Well, so for the two, if Olivia's doing Eubanks, then
Uh-huh.
maybe she could help Kayla with that,
That's
and I
smart.
could help Silver with whatever
No,
character
because
she.
no, because Nathan's doing silver. So it'll be
Oh.
Olivia then for you, okay?
Oh, Olivia and Katie.
And
Okay.
Nathan will be able to help Silver if she needs it, okay?
Yeah.
So, and then Kayla can work with Olivia or Katie?
Mhm.
No. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Kayla, then you will be directing Katie.
Okay.
And okay, so let me write
Handle it,
that down.
okay.
So Sterling, then you will be
Directing Eubanks,
Eubanks.
I believe. Okay.
And then Kayla's gonna be, who are you, Kayla, again? I'm just writing this down so I'm not looking.
Crossing or directing?
Who are you crossing?
Terry Claw.
Cloth. And then directing. Who's Katie again? Isn't Katie Wilton or Wilton?
Yes, Katie is Wilton.
Okay, good. Okay, well, we have that then. So
Okay.
then do you guys think you'd be more productive if you had some time to study those witnesses before we talked? You talked right now?
So,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Sterling, yeah, like I feel like it would probably be we'd all be able to talk about especially those two more if like we can have a chance of studying them. Sterling, if you want to get, since you're gonna be, if you want to get started earlier on that, I can send you what I have for Northshire, like sort of what I anticipate being the most important parts, like the parts you want to highlight in the opening.
Okay.
I should be able to send that to you like today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Just whenever
Yeah.
you. And then we can meet maybe next week
Mhm.
and discuss.
What is
Yeah.
a good time for just the three attorneys to meet next week?
We talked about that, and whenever we have a free time, Nathan has a class, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So
Perfect.
yeah, it's great.
So then what we're talking about
Let's.
is lunch, right?
Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can y'all
we
do-
Wednesday?
I'd prefer earlier in the week so that we could have more time
I
if we
agree
need
with
to do
Nathan.
revisions.
I agree
Let's
with
try
Nathan.
Monday lunch and we can work from there.
Okay.
I think that's a
Oh.
great idea. You can use my room and we can close the door and give you the privacy that you need, okay?
Cool. Thank
Okay.
you.
Cut off as
Sounds
much
good.
sound as possible. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, and be thinking, Kayla, just be thinking of what questions you would have to ask your witness if you were having to ask to build the case. What does your witness tell you that you're directing to help your case? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Just try to think through that as you read your witness's statement and put down some thoughts. This is not an end. This is a beginning, not an end. So we will add and revise it. So, but for your creativity, just think through honestly, how is this going to help me win this case? And then put those questions down, which will help you then develop an opening statement. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And if you have a question, like Mr. Zeiger said, you can email him or call him, or you can email or call me. You guys can text me anytime. I don't care if you're not interrupting me. You're a priority for me. So feel free to do that, okay? Or email me, whatever you're comfortable with. Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Zeiger. Would you mind telling me your email, please?
TZEIGER, T Zeiger at shackelford.law. SHACKELFORD.LAW.
And Sterling, it should be on the thread of the email I sent out to you.
Okay.
Did you have
Okay.
something, Nathan?
Yeah, I was actually, I kind of have a weird question. Sterling and Kayla, probably y'all, if y'all like if they want to leave first, that's fine, because this might be a little long.
Oh, please, I want to.
Okay, so
We are
on
running out of
something-
time. We are running out of time and it might shut off and then I'd have to get y'all back on, okay?
Okay. I mean, I can email this to you if you want, but it might be better to do in person. This is like a question for Mr. Moon and Mr. Zeiger, because I'm not sure which of y'all would know. But so I know that sometimes like a witness can okay, so like essentially, I guess my question is this. So in exhibit 1D of the notebook, Nano writes the alphabet, and it has the letters A, C, and E in sequence next to each other. And then on exhibit 1G, like, would it be fair to potentially, because I'm not sure what the bounds are and what a witness, an expert witness, how opinion operates here. Because I know that what's his face? Northshire doesn't actually mention this, as far as I could tell, unless I totally missed it in his direct. But would it be improper to have Northshire on the stand compare the A, C, and E from the October 1st entry in 1D to the A, C, and E in Exhibit 1G?
I would have to think through that and look at them before
Okay.
I could answer. Mr. Zeiger might be able to do it much quicker than that, but I have that recorded. So we're not going to lose that question, okay?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I know that's kind of weird, because I know that.
It's not weird, Nathan. Those are great questions. Those are the kind of things we have to do, okay? So.
Yeah, I'm just not, because I know that, because I think sometimes the rule is tricky with expert witnesses about how far the opinion can go off of what's in the
Right.
actual, at least for mock trial, in the deposition.
Right.
Or
Mr.
statement.
Zeiger, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, you're getting into the area of an artificial situation that is your mock trial, and how do the rules permit you to come up with things that are not part of the statement? And I don't have an opinion on that because I haven't taken the training yet, though I intend to go and listen to it. But I will say that it is.
Can I get you? I'm going to lose this in just a second. Can I start another meeting?
Please.
Quick? Hold
Sure.
on just a second, because I don't want to lose. This is a good thought. So hold that thought. I'm going to end this meeting and send another invite, and then you can get right back on. I'll get right back on. Okay?
Mr. Moon,
Yeah.
I may need to go. Is that okay?
That's fine. We'll get this taken care of. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.